Good evening. I figure if I'm here with teachers, if I put one hand up, everybody be quiet, but I'm not sure that's going to work with this crowd. We're so glad that everybody's having such a good time and doesn't want to sit down, but we're going to go ahead and get started anyways. And I'm realizing as that I get a little older that these words just seem to get a little farther away from me. So hopefully I'll be able to read my script tonight, but we're really glad to have you here. I'm Bill Anderson. I'm the executive director for MeckEd. MeckEd, as you know, is a nonprofit organization that objectively and informs our community around the critical issues that are currently facing public education, and we want to ensure that all students who graduate from a CMS high school graduate high school both college and career ready. Research affirms what educators and parents have long known, and that is that teachers are by far the most important school-based factor for student success. And this week is Teacher Appreciation Week, which makes this event especially purposeful. I hope you will find some way to show teachers the deep appreciation as this week goes on. I think we can all agree that whether you have a child in public school, private school, homeschool, you have grown children, or you have no children at all, that strong public schools are absolutely critical to the economic vitality of our community here in Charlotte. And we're so pleased tonight to spend this evening honoring and celebrating our teachers, bringing the community together in sincere support and deep gratitude for those individuals who truly shape the future of our future leaders. We have a full program this evening with a lot to cover in a short period of time, so with that being said, I invite you to begin eating your salad at this time. And just jump right in. Let's not hesitate and be bashful. And now we're going to move right into the program, though, but keep eating your salad. I would like to take them. We're going to continue the program while you eat your salad. And I ask if you could please give your attention to Luann Tucker. Luann Tucker is the board chair for MeckEd. Luann?
Thank you, Bill. As chair of MeckEd's board of directors, as a CMS parent, and as a member of this community, as a business person, I recognize the importance of public education to this community. I also recognize, as Bill just mentioned, the key to success of our schools in large part lies with our teachers in the classroom impacting the lives of our students each and every day. And we at MeckEd are pleased to be able to honor many of those here tonight. Before we do so, I would like to take the opportunity to thank my fellow board members of MeckEd that are here tonight. They volunteer their time and talent focusing in on making MeckEd successful in this community, as well as our focus is around providing all students in every zip code with a great education here in Mecklenburg County. At this time, may I ask my fellow board members to please stand so we can thank you for your support of MeckEd, our teachers, our students, and our public education. Thank you. And while this is MeckEd's second annual Teachers of Excellence event, we want to also thank those teachers who were honored here last year as the very first class of MeckEd's Teachers of Excellence. Please know that while a year has come and gone, we continue to applaud you for your efforts, your leadership, and your passion to give your best in your classrooms each and every day to your students. I would ask if you are here from last year's class, if you could please stand so we could thank you once again to our first class of MeckEd Teachers of Excellence. Thank you. Please know that we continue to applaud you, and as we applaud those tonight in our 2013 class of MeckEd Teachers of Excellence, we are applauding you as well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're excited about this event, and we hope that it will grow and continue to grow every year as we continue to honor these great educators in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Luann, and we're very fortunate to have such a very strong board, and Luann provides us with excellent leadership. As I mentioned, MeckEd is a nonprofit organization, and we rely on donations from businesses, foundations, and individuals to sustain a vibrant program of work. including community engagement and leadership development programming, as well as MeckEd's career pathway programs, which you will hear more about later. This important evening is possible only through the generous support of our incredible sponsors, and I would like to take a minute to recognize their tremendous investments in MeckEd, our teachers, and our schools here in CMS. I'd like to first of all thank our achievement sponsors, who are the Allen Tate Companies, Bank of America, U.S. Airways, Wells Fargo Bank, and the YMC of Greater Charlotte. Thank you very much. Thank you to our educator sponsors, the Charlotte Bobcats, the Charlotte Observer, Novant Health, Ortho Carolina, Snyder's Lance, TIAA CREF, and WTVI. Thank you. And thank you to our advocate sponsors, the Charlotte Chamber, Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated, Enpro Industries, Foundation for the Carolinas, Lesley University, Northeastern University Charlotte, Piedmont Natural Gas, PwC, and Rogers. Again, thank you to all of our sponsors for your support, because were it not for you, we would not be able to honor these 25 special teachers today. I'd also like to take just a moment to recognize the Board of Education members who are with us this evening. If I could ask those board members to please stand at this time. I see Eric Davis, Mary McCrae, and Tom Tate. Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to introduce a friend to MeckEd, and that is Leslie Winter, who is the Executive Director of the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation. The Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation is truly a champion for public education across the state of North Carolina, and we're very fortunate to have Leslie here with us tonight. Leslie?
Good evening. I'm Leslie Winter. I'm the Executive Director of the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation, and for those of you who don't know us, the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation is a 75-year-old North Carolina foundation that works to make North Carolina and its communities more inclusive, sustainable, and vital. And one of the primary ways that we do that is by investing in building public will to support public education, and also investing in building capacity within public education. So it's really great to have partners like MeckEd, who do such great work on the ground in this community. The purpose of public education, as you know, is to assure that each child has the opportunity to become prepared to be successful in life, to get the education they need to be successful in life. And that provides not only each child and their family with the opportunity that they deserve, but when we are successful at preparing every single child to be successful, then we end up also with very healthy and vital communities and with a healthy and vital economy. And we all know that to have any chance to achieve that ambitious goal, the most important thing, the very most important thing, is to have excellent teachers. That is the most important. You are the most important people in these children's lives and in the life of the public schools. So I wanted to come here to thank you from the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation for your professionalism and for your skills, for your dedication and for your persistence, and for your hard work. We are indebted to you, and we are inspired by you. In addition to thanking you, I also want to make a request. I am confident that every teacher in this room, in his or her own way, is a leader. You have different kinds of leadership skills from each other, but all of you have important leadership skills. And for all of our schools to be great, we need you not only to keep on being excellent teachers, but we also need you to be using your leadership skills. We are counting on you as leaders. So I ask that when you leave here tonight and you're basking in the glory of this well-deserved recognition, that you also think about what kind of leader you are and what your leadership skills are and strengths, and how you can use those leadership skills to make your grade level or your department or your school an even better place than it already is. So kudos to you, and thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Leslie. Now I'd like for all of us to take a moment and think back to your high school days, and for some of us that might be a long time ago. This may be reaching deep into the memory banks of some of us, but how many of you knew exactly what you wanted to be when you grew up and are actually doing it? Probably not too many. Well, most of us don't. In fact, most of today's students will end up working jobs that currently don't even exist. The reality is, as technology advances and our world becomes more global, students today must be prepared for an ever-changing and ever more competitive workforce. MeckEd's Career Pathways program successfully launched last summer at Vance High School. Career Pathways advisors, who are housed directly at CMS high schools, work to connect students to internships and impactful workplace learning opportunities, fostering career exploration while also connecting the dots to a host of opportunities for post-secondary education or training that are available after high school. MeckEd is proud to have recently added a second Career Pathways advisor at Harding University High School, and we want to thank Central Piedmont Community College for helping support this endeavor. And this person and we do have a goal of placing a Career Pathways advisor in every high school in CMS. As opposed to the College for All mantra, MeckEd believes that some type of post-secondary education for all and seeks to strengthen the pipeline from middle grades through high school and post-secondary, which will ultimately lead to a successful transition to the workplace. Instead of me sharing an incredible impact of this Career Pathways program, allow me to turn over the microphone to Alvaro Moreno and Tiffany Smart, two seniors at Vance High School.
Good evening, I'm Tiffany Smart.
And I'm Alvaro Moreno. And in November, Ms. Varela actually offered me a chance to a job shadowing event with AT&T. And I accepted because I had to do my senior exit project on the dangers of texting while driving. And at the time, they actually had the No Text and Drive campaign. And it really helped me a lot. But what I learned from the actual job shadowing event was that AT&T was not for me. So in the fall, Ms. Varela came to me and offered me an internship with Livingston and Haven. And at first I was kind of intimidated with the big company name, but once I met my supervisor, Mel Radford, which he's over here in the back in the pink shirt. You see him over there? Yeah. He really helped me calm down a little bit more and generate new ideas and be more innovative with everything. So at first, we started researching and developing things or whatever, and I actually came up with the actual product. We'll talk about that in a little bit. In addition to those experiences, I also did a entrepreneurs organization Make Your Mark event, where we were separated into groups, and my group actually worked with successful entrepreneurs and came up with the invention and a business plan. And we had to present it in front of judges, and we were one of the finalists. And at the end, we were judged the second time, and my team won, and the victors got iPads. So my whole team got iPads. Yeah, it was really cool. Also, earlier this year, I was undecided of what college I wanted to go to, so Ms. Varela encouraged me to apply to CPCC, so I applied and I got accepted. So that's actually where I'm planning to go this fall. And well, after 2 years of taking my core classes, I'm gonna transfer over to UNCC and take all my engineering courses there. As I mentioned earlier about what I did at my internship, I'm actually developing a product which is a solar-powered medical cooler.
Which actually relates to the medical internship that I am doing at Carolina Medical Center. I am a student reporter at Vance High School, and of course we had announcements. And on the announcements was Ms. Varela's information about internships. So I said to myself, that's a great idea. So I immediately went to her office after announcements, and I was like, I need an internship in the medical field. And of course, she had some. After finding my medical records and getting TB tests, doing background checks, and even getting drug tested, I was finally able to begin my internship in April. Every day that I'm there, I get to visit a different unit in the hospital, like the ER, the lab, the post-surgical unit, and the maternity floor. And now I'm pretty sure on exactly what I want to do. My goal is to become a physician's assistant focusing on pediatrics. Next year I will be attending UNC Pembroke, where I will plan to major in biology. Thanks to Ms. V, the Career Pathways program, we have been guided toward our pathways. These opportunities have served as stepping stones to help us reach our ultimate career goals. This program should be offered in all CMS schools so that all students can be guided. We want all students to have this opportunity to know exactly what we want to do. So thank you, and we hope you have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
I'm going to go off the script just for a moment, because one of MeckEd's roles is to help meet the needs of the community and the needs of the educational community. And I can tell you that Dr. Morrison, his staff, and our school board just don't have the funding to have the staff to go out and develop these relationships and develop these internships and these partners. This is the future. We have a guest tonight with us from Germany, from GIZ, and the Europeans have taken a great interest in the Charlotte region to bring in more capital, build more industries, and the one thing that we're missing in our communities, we may not have the skilled workforce that's needed. And so we're convinced that by helping these students in high school, and I met Alvaro a few weeks ago, and Alvaro kind of told me his story, and he said when he was in high school, he kind of really didn't know what he wanted to do. But since he met Mel at Livingston and Haven is owned by a guy named Clifton Van, they get it. They understand that the business community also needs to come back into the schools and not just write a check to the PTA, but develop these strong partnerships and internships, because kids of today, as I said earlier, they don't even know what the jobs of tomorrow are going to be. They need to have these career pathways, or at least start thinking about them when they're in high school. So we're really pleased and want to thank both of you. The students always steal the show, so let's give another hand to Alvaro and Tiffany. And at this time, I want to introduce my friend and professional colleague, and that's Dr. Heath Morrison. Heath and I were together earlier today over at Piedmont Natural Gas, and he was speaking to their leadership team. And I just have to tell you all that we are very fortunate in our community to have a man of such passion, intelligence, and energy. This guy has energy. So please welcome to the podium Dr. Heath Morrison.
Well, good evening. Oh, come on, that's weak. Good evening. It's a celebration. This is a celebration of the most important thing that we can lift up, and that is our amazing teachers. As superintendent of schools, when I love visiting your classes, and I love having kids ask me, well, what's a superintendent do? Now, I got to tell you, I spent most of the year trying to figure out what the superintendent's supposed to do, but I like to say I'm a teacher on special assignment. And I mean that sincerely, because I know what the power of a great teacher means. I don't need to look at the data. I've seen it. I don't need to hear the testimonies because I like stories. And let me tell you a story of a young man. Young man that started off with a lot of promise, first day of school, like all kids start off on the first day of school with a lot of promise. The young man got told he's doing pretty well. The young man was told he'd be the first in his family to go to college. But the young man, as often happens, had a lot of challenges, took different paths, and this young man started to go off the wayside and become one of the 1.2 million students that somehow don't get on that pathway that leads to that diploma. This young man started to get angry. This young man started to act up. This young man acted like he didn't care because he'd rather have you think he didn't care than to think that he wasn't smart. And this young man was all prepared to become a dropout until two things happened. Two amazing teachers that went past all that anger, all that animosity, saw something in that young man that he had forgotten about himself and saved his life. That young man went on to get into honors courses, AP courses in high school, went on to become the first in his family to go to college, went on to actually have the opportunity to become a teacher, a principal, an area superintendent, and now is in front of you as your superintendent in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools. Every day I'm humbled by what our great teachers do. Every day I am humbled to say that I try to support great teachers. See, what every great principal knows, and we have so many great principals here tonight, they are support staff for you. They are support staff to let you do the magic and the amazing things that you do every day on behalf of our students. So I'm going to ask all of our MeckEd Teachers of Excellence to get a little out of your comfort zone. Now, the first thing is, I'm going to ask that this upcoming year, you give us the gift of your greatness. I ask that you be willing to help us as we revisit how we are doing our business in Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools. I'll ask you to serve on committees. I'll ask you to come meet with me. We're going to try to sap every bit of goodness for as long as we've got you as, quote-unquote, a MeckEd Teacher of Excellence until we usher in the next cohort next year. And I hope you avail yourself of that as much as your professional and personal obligations allow. But folks, where I'm really going to ask you to step out of your comfort level is, as I've met some of you this evening and I say, hey, great job, congratulations, we're proud of you, this is what you usually tell me. Oh, there's nothing special about me. I'm just one of our hard-working teachers. Now, we've got 9,000 teachers in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg School District, and we've got amazing teachers. But you know, we're in a business somehow when we complain about what everybody's saying about us in public education. Let's start off about what we say about ourselves. You're here tonight because the data says you should be here. You're here tonight because people have lifted you up as a role model and as an inspiration, and you're here tonight because you're making a difference in the lives of children. Now, I watch American Idol sometimes, you do too, except I admit it and you won't. And Randy Jackson has some of the best advice ever. Do you. So I need you guys to do you next year. Lift yourselves up. Hold your head high. When people say, are you a MeckEd Teacher of Excellence? Say, yes, I am. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Because I'm a believer in stories. And when stories are told well, when stories are told right, they inspire and they cause greatness. I need you to help us change this conversation in this country and in this community and in this state about public education. Let them see your faces. Let them see what you do. Challenge policymakers to come in and spend some time with you and get enraptured by your goodness. Let our community lift you up, because through your stories, you will tell the story about why public education is the smartest investment that we can make in our future, and it is a moral obligation. So thank you for being heroes and sheroes. Thank you for what you do for our students every day. And thank you for giving a young man that had forgotten what he wanted to do the pathway to have an opportunity to make remarks for you tonight. Enjoy your dinner, and again, do you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Morrison. We really appreciate your kind words and your words of wisdom and your passion. At this time, we're going to take a short break to let you eat dinner. So enjoy. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone. please keep eating your dinner, but we're going to go ahead and start the program. Before we launch into what we've all been waiting for, and that's honoring our 2013 Teachers of Excellence, let me first call upon one final friend who would like to thank MeckEd's 2013 Teachers of Excellence. If Tiffany Capers, who serves on the volunteer committee for the YMCA of Greater Charlotte, would come forward, please. Tiffany?
Thank you, Bill. Good evening. My name is Tiffany Capers, and I am the Managing Director of Development at Teach for America here in Charlotte. Some of you may have heard of Teach for America. Some of you may not have heard of Teach for America. But Teach for America is a nonprofit organization that has as its primary mission to make sure that all children receive a quality education. We believe that education really is a pathway to success. It's a pathway to allowing children to experience their fullest potential. Education is the lifeblood of the community. We need an educated population to be employed, to volunteer, to serve, to work, to be a part of what makes any community great. So I'm happy to stand here before you to represent Teach for America, an organization in which I'm proud to be a member. And I'm also proud to stand before you as a member of the Community Development Committee for the Charlotte YMCA. I've been on that committee now for about a year, and it's been my true and greatest honor and pleasure to serve on a committee who's trying, like everyone in this room, to make sure that our children, our students, receive the education that they deserve. To the 25 teacher winners we are honoring tonight, congratulations on your award, and thank you for your service and commitment. Now, the program would suggest that I have really profound statements to make, and I'm going to give a keynote remark. I promise you I will not be before you long. I was asked to give short remarks, and as you can tell from my stature, I'm good at being short, so I can do that. By focusing on the areas of youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility, the mission of the YMCA is to put Christian principles into practice through programs that build a healthy spirit, mind, and body for all. Many of you are probably familiar with the YMCA of Greater Charlotte's footprint across our community through its 19 branch facilities. What you may not know is the intentional work the Y has been doing in education, specifically work to eliminate the achievement gap in some of our Title I schools. The YMCA of Greater Charlotte has been working with Charlotte-Mecklenburg Schools since 1999, when the Y first launched Project Starfish, now known as Y Readers, a literacy program supporting first through third grade students. The program takes place at schools for 6 weeks in the summer and operates as an after-school program during the school year. The Y partners with the district, local principals, and teachers to offer the program. Excellent teachers have been vital to the success of the Y Readers program. Most recently, the Y launched Y Achievers, a career and college readiness program that is currently serving students at Vance, West Mecklenburg, and West Charlotte high schools. Collectively, 39 schools and over 1,100 children in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools are being impacted by Y Readers, Y Achievers, and several of the Y's branch after-school programs. Like all of us in the room, I hope, tonight, the Y believes in the importance of helping children reach their fullest potential. And despite all of our differences tonight, despite where we might have been reared, despite where we live now, despite where we work, we probably can think back to a teacher that made a difference in our lives, either good or bad. We either had a teacher that inspired us and we've achieved based on their encouragement, or we had a teacher who said we wouldn't be very much, and we've survived and thrived despite of their admonition. The YMCA is proud of all the teachers we're honoring tonight, and the YMCA wants you, as a teacher, to continue to invest in you. Superintendent Morrison said, "Do you?" And I would encourage you to do that. I have a 17-year-old nephew, and he cringes anytime I try to be sort of with it or hip. But most of you, I'm sure, who are the 25 teachers who are being honored, have what he would say, major swagger. So I'm going to need you all to go ahead and floss your swagger and go ahead and do you. So the Y wants you to invest in you and your health so that you can feel your best, so you can be your best, and you can continue to give your best. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that the YMCA is recognizing the 25 Teachers of Excellence award winners with a gift of a 6-month membership to the YMCA of Greater Charlotte. This membership is for you and your entire family. We hope that it ultimately allows you to develop your overall health to better serve students. And I know that there are some Teach for America teachers being honored tonight, and there's some Teach for America alums who are being honored tonight. So I appreciate the work that you all are continuing to do in classrooms. Congratulations, and we are grateful. We are grateful for your dedication to students in our community. Because if many of us are honest with ourselves tonight, we really could not do the work that you do. Thank you very much.
That is very exciting, and we also need to thank Mike Duvall from the YMCA, Molly and Robert Griffin for also helping make that happen. Thank you, Tiffany. In addition to the MeckEd Award and very generous gift from the YMCA, our class of 2013 teachers will also receive a big, giant snack box from Snyder's Lance. And I mean a big box. Thank you, Sid. A gift card for dinner at either La Paz or Rock Bottom Cafe, and 2 tickets from the Charlotte Bobcats for next season, so you'll get that as well. Now I want to share a bit about how we selected the class, this year's class of Teachers of Excellence. And it was with the help of Deputy Superintendent Ann Clark and her team of zone superintendents. We put out a call to every principal to nominate a teacher who has mastered instructional best practices and who is a leader in his or her school community. We are pleased to share that MeckEd was inundated with more than 150 nominations detailing the hard work and incredible impact of teachers across the district. We then collaborated with CMS to complete the difficult task of narrowing down the pool to the 25 teachers we are recognizing this evening. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to Deputy Superintendent Ann Clark, to Tom Tomberlin, and the Human Capital team for enabling us to make this a truly selective and honorable award. For each teacher you will meet tonight, we could have easily spent hours sharing impressive student achievement data, listing leadership and student clubs, innovative initiatives, and school-wide activities these teachers support that are well and above beyond the call of duty. But we simply don't have the time. We wish we had to recognize these teachers. So what we're going to do is we're going to share the highlights with you. So it's time for the fun to begin. Teachers, when I call your name, please come up and join me on stage. Let's begin tonight with Kiarna Cox from Albemarle Road Middle School. Miss Cox is a true leader in her classroom. She is knowledgeable, resourceful, does whatever it takes to meet her students' needs. Within her inclusion class, Miss Cox's students are thriving and consistently do well because of her relationship building skills, her true interest in student learning, and her keen ability to know exactly what her students need. As effective as Miss Cox is with inclusion, she is equally as effective with her highest performing Algebra 1 students. In addition to this responsibility, she leads the math department, works well with the administrative team, is a mentor to 2 new teachers, conducts professional development, and is an 8th grade chairperson. Ms. Cox is such a great asset to the administrators and other teachers and all the students of Albemarle Road. Congratulations, Ms. Cox. Next, we would like to recognize Sarnia Irvin from North Mecklenburg High School. Ms. Irvin serves multiple roles at North Meck as a classroom teacher, the head of the math department, a mentor to many, and a parent of a North Meck student. She runs her classroom and the math department like a well-oiled machine. And she has high expectations for all her students, something you're going to hear a lot of tonight. And she also has high expectations for the teachers in her department. Ms. Irvin's students consistently remark about how seriously she takes their learning and their development into successful young adults, as well as her willingness to give them everything she has to help them master the content. A junior in her class once stated, "She expects more from me every day than I expect from myself, and she makes the math she is teaching to us relevant." Ms. Irvin pulls from a wealth of knowledge that she has accumulated over the years as a high school teacher and a middle school assistant principal to positively impact learning throughout the school. Thank you, Ms. Irvin. Next, we want to recognize Renee Hooper from Huntingtown Farms Elementary. Ms. Hooper embodies the mission and vision for teaching and learning at Huntingtown Farms Elementary. She serves as a light of inspiration for her students and colleagues through her leadership and creative integration of real-world learning experiences for children. Above and beyond is her standard of excellence. And this is reflected in data outcomes that show her class grew 82 levels on a recent reading diagnostic assessment. Believe me, that is well above the school and district average. Moving towards full integration of technology in the classroom, Ms. Hooper not only facilitated a grant award of $10,000, but she has also received multiple Donors Choose grants for Kindle Fires, iPods, and other needed resources. The lives of the children and teachers at Huntingtown Farms will never be the same because of Ms. Hooper. Congratulations, Ms. Hooper. Next, we would like to recognize Shofin Jacobson from Waddell Language Academy. Ms. Jacobson's drive to excel and her commitment to the highest professional standards are consistently demonstrated in her classroom, in the Chinese immersion program, and throughout the school. Her students attain high achievement and high growth on standardized tests in English while learning the content of the curriculum in Chinese. Ms. Jacobson has led the development of the exemplary Chinese immersion program at Waddell, creating the curriculum framework, helping to find and support new teachers, and selecting materials for each successive year of the growing program. She also developed and implemented a Chinese calligraphy program for students in grade 2 through 5 that is a model of innovation across the United States. As a teacher and leader, Ms. Jacobson builds bridges between languages and cultures in an exemplary way. Congratulations, Ms. Jacobson. This is a fun job, I want you to know. Erica Baylog, Vance High School. Ms. Baylog is truly committed to her students in the Vance family. As a leader of her PLC team, she has worked tirelessly with her colleagues to ensure not only success for her students, but also that all biology students achieve full potential. Ms. Baylog has inspired the team to incorporate project-based learning so students can find meaning and real-life application in the world of biology. Her test scores show authentic assessment, and the incorporation of writing into the class can improve student learning significantly. Ms. Baylog's students are provided with a supportive environment where rigor is present, success is expected, and critical thinking is developed. The pride her students show in their work within her classroom and outside of school is immeasurable. In reference to an exam, one of her students said, "I'm not making an A, I'm making 100 because I have Miss Baylog." Congratulations, Miss Baylog. Scott Moser, Butler High School. Scott Moser is the teacher every principal would love to have in his or her building. He has the unique ability to reach all students in the classroom. His high-performing AP Biology students excel on the AP Biology exams, and he also has the ability to effectively reach his school's exceptional children's population in the inclusion setting. In 2011-12, 92% of Mr. Moser's regular biology students passed the biology EOC. I got to tell you something. That is one hard test. And I'll bet the adults in here who haven't been to school for a few years, you wouldn't score that high. It is a tough test. And so for you to have, that percentage, that's amazing. And 88% of those students also met their growth expectations. He produces these overwhelmingly positive results in a safe and caring classroom environment, and students line up to be in his class. Mr. Scott Moser. Vicki Ratliff, Providence High School. Miss Ratliff brings passion to her classroom and to her relationships with her students. Usually on the job at 6 a.m. and staying past 5 p.m., she is one of the most available teachers at Providence High School. She emails all the families of her students, get this, several times a week. And for those families who do not have access to email, she makes regular weekly phone calls regarding the individual progress students have made during that week. Ms. Ratliff is also a strong advocate for her student, recognizing the whole person and not just the academic learner in each one. She is a leader of her colleagues in helping them plan lessons, create tests, and use technology to its best capacity. By differentiating her methods of instruction and using group work, collaboration, labs, and presentations, in addition to traditional delivery methods such as lectures and written assignments, Ms. Ratliff has seen her students' test scores rise to the highest level. Yet she is not content to rest on her victories. She is always striving to improve her teaching and learn new ways to help her students. Congratulations, Ms. Ratliff. Next up is Beth Cummings, Mint Hill Middle School. Ms. Cummings constantly strives to meet the educational needs of her students, going above and beyond to ensure their successes. In the classroom, she uses a variety of effective strategies, real-world examples, and problem-based learning to make the content as authentic as possible for her students. Ms. Cummins provides weekly tutoring and enrichment opportunities for her students, and she provides regular updates and communication to parents. As a mentor teacher, Beth enriches the profession by working with new and veteran teachers, leading the work in her grade level and content area. The results of her efforts consistently provide marked success of her students as measured by standardized tests, positive parental comments, and students who are prepared for high school and beyond. Please congratulate Beth Cummins. Next, we have Anna Gladowski-Smith from Albemarle Road Elementary. Ms. Gladowski-Smith currently serves as the chair of the Albemarle Road Elementary Grant Committee and has written grants this year in excess of $10,000 for her classroom and her school as a whole. She is a champion for grants and their impact on classrooms and has encouraged other teachers to apply, providing support when needed. Ms. Gladowski-Smith is extremely hardworking and takes an interest in her students inside and outside of the classroom. She can often be found riding bikes with students as part of the Trips for Kids program. Last year, no other teacher in her school made as much achievement gain with her students as she did. Ms. Gladowski-Smith genuinely loves the work of teaching and seeks every opportunity to learn and grow. Congratulations. Next, we have Lindsay Talton from the Moorhead STEM Academy. Ms. Talton is the current grade level chair and mentor to 2 other staff members. Last year, 100% of her students passed the 4th grade end of grade in reading and mathematics on the first try. Also, Ms. Talton's high growth ratio was one of the highest growth ratios in the district. She is one of the first teachers to arrive in the morning and last to leave. That seems like a common theme, doesn't it? My father used to say, the harder you work, the luckier you get. I really do believe that. She is a member of the school leadership team and provides professional development sessions to other teachers. She also maintains high expectations for all students and ensures that she does whatever it takes to make sure that each child is successful. Congratulations, Ms. Talton. Next, we have Mr. Desmond Blackett from the International Business and Communication Studies School at Olympic High School. Mr. Blackett is considered an irreplaceable at the International Business and Communication Studies at Olympic High School. He regularly provides guidance and support to all students at IBCS and always makes the time for them. Students respect and admire Mr. Blackett because of his nurturing and understanding demeanor and seek him out for advice concerning college choices, employment, and scholarship opportunities. He has been instrumental in ensuring students receive internships and employment opportunities from Fortune 500 companies after graduation. And he has been successful in preventing some students from dropping out of school by providing counseling and advice. Please welcome and thank Mr. Blackett. Next, we have Krista Schunkweiler from Ardrey-Kell High School. Ms. Schunkweiler is an extremely hardworking, highly effective teacher that stands out among the rest. She truly cares about her students' academic success and goes above and beyond to support them throughout their high school career. Her classroom is engaging and inviting to all students, where she utilizes a variety of strategies teaching standard, honors, inclusion, and AP level students. Now you understand that means 4 different sets of lesson plans because she teaches standard, honors, inclusion, and AP level. Ms. Schunkweiler is also a model teacher for the rest of the Ardrey-Kell staff and serves as a mentor to first-year teachers. This year, serving as the lead teacher for biology has allowed her to conduct content planning meetings, facilitate discussions about student data, and provide a forum for the sharing of strategies and ideas. Ms. Schunkweiler treats all staff and students fairly and with respect and is truly an asset to the Ardrey-Kell team. Please thank Ms. Schunkweiler. Okay, let's take a short break from getting to know our outstanding Teachers of Excellence. And as we talked earlier about our world changing every day, as we also know that textbooks are going to eventually become a thing of the past, and technology is a must-have in the classrooms. With that said, I'm very excited to announce that an anonymous donor who is in this room, but I won't tell you who he is. Well, so now you know it's a man. He is helping CMS learn and decide which tablets and devices can provide the best value for our teachers and students, has generously donated 6 tablets for our 2013 Teachers of Excellence. In addition, each of these teachers who wins one of these electronic tablets will also receive a 6-month digital subscription from the Charlotte Observer. So thank you, Charlotte Observer. At this time, I am going to pull 5 names, and I'm going to shake them up as best I can and not look at them. And these will be our winners. Our first winner is Kathy Kelly. I have one of these, and these are really cool little machines. Next winner is Anna Gladowski-Smith. Anna? Our next winner is Sayarna Irvin. And our next winner is going to be Desmond Blackett. And we have one more to give away, and that's going to go to Margaret Detmering. Yes, I know that's 5. I appreciate you looking after me here, but I know that's 5. There might be something later. You never know. Suspense is always a good thing, a little applied anxiety. Congratulations to all of you who just received these tablets. And congratulations to our special donor. And the donor who doesn't want to be named, and I won't name him, is working very hard to try to help CMS find the best possible deal with the best possible quality machine. Some of the more popular machines cost up to $700, as I'm sure you've bought them for your kids, some of you, and I'll go without mentioning the name of that company. While there are other products out there that are much less expensive and just as effective. So we want to thank individuals in our community who help like this. Okay, let's get back to our amazing educators. Next up is Trayshawn Stuckey from Sedgefield Middle School. Mr. Stuckey creates an exciting and stimulating learning environment for all her students. Excuse me, Miss Stuckey. Sorry about that. Sorry, Miss Stuckey. When students walk into the classroom, the arrangement of furniture facilitates discussion, thought, and exploration that enhance a rich learning community. Most of all, she creates a place where students feel safe to take risks and share ideas while learning to value others' opinions. Within this rich environment created by Ms. Stuckey, she designs her lessons to engage student intellect, stretch thinking, increase mathematical understanding, and expand their toolkit to solve problems in the real world. Ms. Stuckey serves on numerous school leadership teams and has established herself as a true teacher of excellence at Sedgefield Middle School. Please recognize Miss Trayshawn Stuckey. Margaret Detmering, Alexander Graham Middle School. Ms. Detmering exemplifies the best qualities of a teacher. She is passionate about the exceptional children's population she teaches and differentiates lessons to meet their varied academic needs. Ms. Detmering challenges each of her students to perform at a higher level. She learned early in her career the importance of building relationships with students, and it's because of those relationships that her students will work to meet whatever expectations she sets. The fact that she is learning American Sign Language so she can better communicate with her hearing impaired students speaks to the passion that she has for her students. Congratulations to Margaret Detmering. I would next like to recognize First Sergeant Marcia Jeter from Harding University High School. First Sergeant Jeter treats all of her students as if they were her own children. She works tirelessly for her students and truly cares about their success beyond Harding. First Sergeant Jeter works with students on completing scholarships and college applications, and she began a college financial aid workshop that she facilitates on campus with Harding students every summer. She also started a parent involvement committee at Harding and organized the school's first health fair. First Sergeant Jeter also has taken the lead to help with Harding's school-wide initiative to improve student attendance. She does all of this and is extremely effective in her classroom as well. Please thank Sergeant Jeter. Next, we're going to honor Dale Richardson from East Mecklenburg High School. And I know this woman, so I'm going to probably go off script a little bit. I hope you guys from MeckEd don't mind. But over the past 30 years, 13 of which Dale has been at East Mecklenburg, she has been the consummate professional. She runs the culinary arts program there, and the students that serve under her, that have had her as a teacher, have been blessed with someone who is extremely caring, extremely professional, and extremely successful. Under Miss Richardson's leadership, her students have earned more than $150,000 in scholarships. She is considered a master in her subject area, and she continuously works on spending time gaining new knowledge in her subject area to help instill a hunger in her students to learn more on their own. We are very fortunate to have folks like Dale Richardson teaching our students, and I would just like to really thank Dale. Next is Ellen Visor from the International Studies and Global Economics at Olympic High School. Ms. Vider is a leader at International Studies and Global Economics at Olympic High School and has established many positive changes. She sends a weekly email to all students and families, utilizes data tracking spreadsheets to monitor mastery, and invests time in all of her students. Ms. Visor's school has adapted many of her ideas, and they have led to dramatically improved student achievement, parental involvement, and in part led her school to have the highest growth of all CMS high schools last year. In addition, she is currently designing and leading the ISGE staff in a year-long course on data-driven instruction. Her tireless work ethic, unwavering encouragement of her students, and proactive involvement in district-level initiatives have made her an irreplaceable leader in her school and a teacher that her students love and respect. Miss Ellen Visor. Our next teacher is Kathleen Kelly from Ballantine Elementary. Miss Kelly consistently rises to the tops in terms of leadership, skill in motivating students, creativity, and the ability to positively impact student achievement at Ballantine Elementary School. She has been an effective mentor for many new teachers and has served as the chair of the school's leadership team. Ms. Kelly currently serves as the 5th grade chair and is known throughout the school as a model for positive student motivation and achievement. Parent feedback from Ms. Kelly is always overwhelmingly positive. Every one of her students passed the end of grade tests last year, which is a testament to her solid instructional practices and her ability to differentiate based on student needs and her passion for the profession. Congratulations, Ms. Kelly. Our next teacher of excellence is Scott Barbario from Sedgefield Elementary. Always in perpetual motion, Mr. Barbario moves around his classroom with an urgency and passion for reaching every student every day with no exceptions and no excuses. He motivates, challenges, inspires, and helps students develop to their fullest potential. Mr. Barbario's efforts have helped instill a love of learning, while his conviction, dedication, creativity, and leading by example have made a positive impact on students and adults alike. As demonstrated by his students' hard work, commitment, and test scores, Mr. Barbario's impact is far-reaching as he seeks to prepare his students for a global society. He is held in high esteem by his students, colleagues, parents, and administrative staff. Congratulations, Mr. Barbario. Our next teacher of excellence is Sarah Goldstein from Ranson IB Middle School. Miss Goldstein is a second-year Teach for America Corps member who brings passion and energy to teaching every day. As an 8th grade science teacher, she plans high-quality lessons based on data to engage and promote the success of her scholars. Ms. Goldstein has also taken on a leadership role in her 8th grade science professional learning community. While she continues to grow in her career, Ms. Goldstein is a teacher of excellence who is making a great difference in the lives of scholars at Ranson IB Middle School. Congratulations, Ms. Goldstein. Our next teacher of excellence is Jennifer Holbrook from Allenbrook Elementary School. According to her principal, Ms. Holbrook is one of the most dedicated, enthusiastic teachers she has ever had the privilege to work with. Ms. Holbrook dedicates her career to students in poverty in order to make a positive difference in the community she serves. Each day, she enters the doors of her school with excitement and a sense of urgency to push her students to reach their goals by engaging them in the learning process at high levels. Ms. Holbrook teaches with such enthusiasm that students are always excited to take part in her lessons. Not only are students having fun in her classroom, but her students also consistently make high growth each year. She truly lives her school's motto, learning for all, whatever it takes. Ms. Holbrook is doing an incredible job of preparing students to realize their dreams, whatever they may be. Congratulations, Ms. Holbrook. Our next teacher is Ann Wolf from Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School. Miss Wolf, while only in her second year of teaching, yet her instructional expertise surmounts that of many veteran teachers. She has embraced her role as a grade-level lead for the math department and is instrumental in creating a professional learning community that is focused on student achievement. Ms. Wolf's students work hard for her because they know that she cares about their education. She is firm yet fair and always available to provide additional support to students after school if it is necessary. Ms. Wolf is an asset to the school and is dedicated to the teaching profession. She is a great example of what an effective teacher is. Congratulations, Ms. Wolf. Our next teacher of excellence is Rebecca Gergrina from Elon Park Elementary School. Rebecca is an excellent teacher who achieves high levels of academic growth from her students on a yearly basis. She applies all of her knowledge to push students to their highest level, regardless of their prior achievement levels. Ms. Gergina works with a very diverse group of students and has experience at schools with all types of socioeconomic levels. She also assists her principal with presenting sessions to master's level students on leading schools of poverty. She is truly the definition of a teacher of excellence and is magic in a classroom setting. Congratulations, Rebecca. Our next teacher we'll recognize is Stephanie Wright from Newell Elementary. Miss Wright is a phenomenal educator and master teacher. One of her greatest strengths as an educator is instilling exceptional character traits by leading through example. Her leadership skills are astonishing, both in the classroom and within Newell Elementary. Miss Wright's students excel in the classroom, continually testing higher than the district average, and her student engagement is also extremely high. Stephanie is a teacher with high teacher efficacy and endless desire to succeed. She encourages parental involvement and truly cares about her students, their families, and the community. Congratulations, Stephanie. Now, for those of you who were with us last year, you may remember that we announced the creation of the Paul Jackson Award in honor of a 2012 Teacher of Excellence who lost his battle with cancer 3 weeks before we had our first MeckEd Teachers of Excellence Award ceremony. And Paul died just weeks after his teacher had nominated him for the award. His principal and friend of mine, Tracy Harrell, we asked her to be with us tonight to just share a little bit about Paul Jackson and the unforgettable impact that he left on Providence High School. Tracy?
Wow. Tonight we're here to honor our best and brightest teachers, and Paul Jackson was one of those teachers. Mr. Jackson was the band director at Providence High School, and I had the privilege to be able to be his principal. He was the teacher every principal wants in their school. And more importantly, he was the teacher every parent would want for their child. Mr. Jackson was born to teach music, but most importantly, he felt he was born to influence students during the formative high school years. Students shared example after example with me of where Mr. Jackson made them feel special and important. One student recalls a time during band camp in which they were taking a break and he was sitting over by himself. He didn't have anyone else to eat lunch with. Mr. Jackson noticed the student off to the side by himself, and he went over and he said, "It looks like you need a friend, and I'll be your friend." That's the type of teacher Mr. Jackson was. He was an accomplished musician, strong motivator of students, and had the skill to put together award-winning marching and concert band performances year after year after year. Mr. Jackson worked more hours at Providence than can be counted. He was often at school more than 15, 16 hours a day, and he did it with a positive attitude and giving spirit. What makes Mr. Jackson even more remarkable was that he did all of this while living with cancer. His illness is not the reason he was an excellent teacher. However, it helps to understand the awesome obstacles he overcame each day just to be able to come to school, much less to do the stellar job that he did. I recall a time last year in which he spent the night in the hospital getting a blood transfusion. He was released at 6 a.m., got dressed, and came to school to teach. I tried to send him home, but he would hear none of that. When diagnosed last year with leukemia, the doctors wanted to start treatment right away, but Mr. Jackson had just been selected to direct the all-district band, and you should have seen the excitement on his face to have that opportunity. So he postponed his treatment for a few weeks so that he would feel well enough to be able to do a good job as the all-district band coordinator. He had a wonderful time, and he told me that that experience was one of the most special events in his life. Truly, beyond a shadow of a doubt, Paul Jackson loved his students, they loved him, and he loved the art of teaching.
At this time, we have someone who is going to come up and talk about this year's Paul Jackson Award winner, and who better to do that than a student? Kelmy?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kelmy Guillen, and I'm an 8th grader at Eastwood Middle School. I had Mr. Gabriel as a math teacher when I was in 7th grade. Math has not always been easy for me, but when Mr. Gabriel was my teacher, he took the time to help me with my math. Not only that, but Mr. Gabriel always helped his students outside of the classrooms too. He made sure we all had school supplies and anything else we needed to succeed in school. He even took us on field trips. Mr. Gabriel let us know that if we ever needed anything, he'll be there for us. Some teachers just feed you the answer but don't really show you how to work out the problems. Mr. Gabriel stayed after school to make sure I understood what I was doing. At the end of the 7th grade, I passed my math EOG for the first time, all because Mr. Gabriel worked with me. When I found out that Mr. Gabriel was chosen as a teacher of excellence, I was really excited because he deserves it more than any other teacher I have ever had. Congratulations, Mr. Gabriel.
Our 2013 Paul Jackson MeckEd Teacher of the Year is Mr. Gregory Gabriel from Eastway Middle School. As you can tell, we had a very challenging job determining who our best 25 teachers were going to be. But after hearing story after story about Mr. Gabriel, I just feel like I need to share with you a couple of these thoughts. Mr. Gabriel is a remarkably effective teacher who is innovative and maintains dedication in the interest of his students. He models enthusiasm not only for the academic subject, but also for teaching and learning in general. He values his craft and projects this value to all in his presence. He makes home visits and knows each of his students and families personally. He also provides after-school activities for them. The Math PLC, of which he is a member, scored among the top in comparison with other middle schools in CMS. I'd also like to mention that Gregory lists his personal cell phone on his CMS webpage and encourages students to call him at any time for any reason. He makes every minute in the classroom count. He is available to meet with parents every day, before school, after school, in the evenings, for in-home visits, and on weekends. But what really impressed me is on his wiki page, and I know a lot of us don't have wiki pages, but he does, because he knows that's how his students are talking to one another. He says this to his students: "Dear students, I believe in you. I trust in you. I know you can handle life situations. You are listened to. You are cared for. You are important to me." Thank you, Mr. Gabriel. Stay up here. Yeah, I need you to stay up here. Oh, okay. You can go or you can stay, whatever you prefer. Kemi looks like he's ready to get off this stage. So I've had enough time up there in those lights. We want to make sure that Mr. Gabriel we're going to also provide him with a $100 gift card from Staples and one of those 10-inch tablets. To me, Mr. Gabriel, I'm not going to go into his past, but Mr. Gabriel left a very lucrative career in industry to become a teacher. And he's a teacher for all the right reasons. He cares about his students. He knows how important it is for us to have great teachers in our classroom, and our community is blessed to have a man like this teaching our kids. Okay, at this time, we need to have Terry Pope from U.S. Airways to step up, and Terry Pope has something very nice to talk about. Thank you very much. Good to see you. I'm fine.
Thank you, Bill.
My pleasure.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Usually when U.S. Airways is at the end of a program, might mean a nice little surprise is coming. Stay tuned. What an absolute honor to be here this evening to honor these phenomenal educators. I almost came to tears on the last one. It's just very touching. This is U.S. Airways' first time at the Teachers of Excellence Award Dinner, and I can assure you from what we've seen this evening, it will not be our last. This has just been awesome. U.S. Airways understands that supporting education is helped to build a brighter future for the next generation. And these educators we've seen this evening are a huge part of building that future. Another round of applause for them, please. One other thing U.S. Airways recognizes that after 9 months of educating, is someone in need of a vacation? I think so. So, educators, when you came in this evening, you were asked to sign the back of a card. If you did not do that, I strongly recommend that you do so now. Anyone left? Too late. Did everyone sign the back? No.
Oh, okay.
Scared you?
Sorry.
Okay, so to help a little bit in your vacation planning, U.S. Airways is very honored tonight to offer a $500 gift card to get you off on a good start for your vacation. Are we ready to make that drawing? You feeling lucky?
Dig deep.
So it's Bill's fault if you don't win.
Ooh. The winner is Celeste Ellis. As we wrap up the evening, there are just a couple of things that I need to talk about, and I promise this will be brief. MeckEd is a very small organization. We have 4 employees, and then we have 2 full-time career pathways advisors out in the schools. But I need to recognize Aaron Edwards, Tori Bell Miller, and Shayna Phillips back here. If you all would please stand. And I would like to recognize our 2 career pathways advisors, if they would also stand, Melissa Varela and Siobhan Estrada. Just a little bit of business before we leave. I want to remind all the 2013 Teachers of Excellence that we need you for a picture. So when you leave, if you would just go out behind the escalator, there's going to be a riser there. We have some pictures. Also, reminder to all the 2013 Teachers of Excellence, you have a big gift bag waiting over there for you, so make sure you get that on the way out. And finally, we have a cameraman that is going to be outside for anyone who attended tonight's event to tell us what you thought of the event, how you were moved, what it makes you think about, what we need to do as a community. And in conclusion to the teachers, I hope you leave the room tonight feeling supported. I hope that you feel uplifted and encouraged. The work you do is very difficult, it's very hard, and I'm not sure it's always appreciated like it needs to be, which leads me to my last comments, and that's to our community. Public education is clearly a cornerstone of our democracy, and I'm convinced without strong public schools, our community and our society will suffer. The backbone of all great schools are great teachers. And we can recruit the teachers, but we can't always keep them. And that's because the profession is difficult. We don't pay what we need to. North Carolina, unfortunately, is moving in a direction that's not always positive. But we need all of you in this room need to go out and talk to anybody you know about how we must invest in teachers. They are our future. And we want to thank you for your support of MeckEd. Tonight's event has grown quite a bit from last year. And last year we recognized 40 teachers. This year we chose to recognize 25. I can assure you we'll be back next year. And thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you.